going on, everybody? We are back. We are back, and we're here to talk ADP values. We got a surprise guest again. It's like we're back to normal. We're here with Maddie Daddy. That's at Maddie Daddy on Twitter or Maddie Daddy Presents on YouTube. Matt, what's going on, man?
I'm back. I'm not a holla back girl, but I've been a few times around that track. I'm here to grind, baby. We're talking ADP values. We love these startups. We love the value. We love seeing how we can manipulate the system. I'm pumped to be here, baby.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. It's like I said, I'm glad you're back. I miss talking football. We might have a couple episodes coming out with you on them, so I'm pretty excited. But hey, I want to hear from you first. Who's your first value in ADP drafts right now?
Oh man, there's so many players. Maybe one that not everybody's gonna love, but I just can't leave this guy. He's a running back. He's young. Situation. And what do they always say on the girls' trip? Location, 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 sister. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire of the Kansas City Chiefs. What a shit show this year. But going around the Dynasty, RB 26 to 30, ADP of 7th to 10th round, just depends on who you're working with. I look at this. I look at what Jeff Radcliffe said. Put it perfect. Look at Andy Reid's offense. Look at Brian Westbrook. Took him 3 years to thrive in that offense. Once he got the pass volume, he excelled. I expect that with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The pedigree, you saw with LSU. You've seen him put RB2 numbers up in the past. He's flashed, and he's going for pennies on the dollar. We play the game of Dynasty. We play youth. As an RB2 with upside, I think that's what you're getting with Clyde Edwards-Helaire for an Andy Reid offense that focuses the game around the running back position. I'm in on the price, baby. What do you think, babe?
You got to call your shots, right? You got to call your shots, and what's better to call your shot than a guy who's going in the RB3 range that you think could see the volume and is in the Kansas City Chiefs offense to give you RB2 production, maybe even RB1, right? We saw the first 5 or 6 weeks of 2020 when he came out as a rookie, he was like RB10 or something like that, right? So you've seen that ceiling from him before. Last year was very odd. There were injuries and some other stuff going on. So I think he's a good buy at that point, right? It doesn't make sense to let him fall. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I'm not paying top 15 running back price. This guy was going in startups after his rookie year or during the rookie draft, and then right after that, people were taking CEH in the first round. We're talking the 8th, the 9th. We're talking getting for a late first, early second. To me, that's value at its finest.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? I'm going to switch mine around. I'm going to keep mine with the running back position. And I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs, running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. Check this out. RB1. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. The Dynasty Jacobian, look, I owe you, dude, because I trashed everything you talked about with Josh Jacobs. Like, man, this guy's not that good, and he's proven me wrong 2 years in a row. Regardless of how inefficient he is, running for under 4 yards a carry, the dude still gets the volume. The dude still gets the touchdowns, and you've seen an uptick in year to year to year, 3 years in a row in receptions, which is king and half point and full point PPR. So I think this is a guy, you've seen him run for 21 touchdowns in the last 2 years. Now you bring in Josh McDaniels and everybody says, oh, but Brad, the New England Patriots, they run multiple running back system. Look, the one season that he got to be the head coach and the guy, Noshan Moreno had 240 plus carries. If he's given Noshan the ball 240 times, he's given Josh Jacobs the ball 240 times. And even at 3.8, 3.9 yards per clip, that's still a solid over 1,000 yards, plus that touchdown potential, plus the upside of the receptions that he's getting, which is almost 50. I think he's a smash for a 6th round startup ADP. So you just talked about CEH going in the 8th round, and he's RB 30 something.
Right.
This is an RB1 going in the 6th round. So I think he's a smash value play right now in startup drafts.
I think you nailed it. You look at the untapped potential with Jacobs, what we thought coming out, and what he has done has been almost like a role reversal. So you get the upstick in receptions. Good Lord, he's already showed he can run the ball. And you take away, look at what the offensive line was last year. It was a shit show. So things will improve under the McDaniels way. The whole team was just in turmoil last year, and he still proved, production is king, and that's what you get with Jacobs.
Yep. I love it. I love it. All right, Matt, who's your second guy?
Whew, man, I could have went a million different receivers on this one. I think that's what we've realized. We could talk Gabe Davis. We could talk Juju. Anybody and everybody is a value at the receiver position. There's literally 60 receivers that I like in fantasy, dynasty, you name it. And we talked a little bit earlier. It's got to be Calvin Ridley. What he was doing and where he was last year, going into the season as a top 10 startup wide receiver option for a guy that's produced nothing but fantasy production, wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1 like he was just the other year. Guys, Ridley's 27, but only 3 years young in the league, and he's disgruntled. He's not going to be in Hotlanta where their line is a hot mess and can't get him the ball because they can't get it out. I think this is a time to buy Ridley. This is the cheapest he will ever be. And in dynasty startups, what were we saying? He was going like around round 7, 8, 9. Come on, guys. Get with the program. If you're drafting DJ Moore over this guy 4 rounds earlier, I think you're making a mistake. And you look at these teams like Philadelphia with all this draft capital, somebody's going to make a move for Ridley, and might be a league winner.
Yeah, and I love this call. I 100%. Look, Calvin Ridley had some issues last year, right? He stepped away from the game, but now he's posting pictures of him and his wife and his child on Twitter again. He's happy. So now things are going to start to happen, whether he comes back to Atlanta and they work that out or he ends up somewhere else. Wherever he goes, he's another one of those guys that you just see produce. He just produces whether the offense is good or not. So I think this is a smash play in that 6th, 7th, 8th round. If you can get him that late, it's a win-win situation. You can't really go wrong, right? There is that hint of risk, right? That hint of risk, but I don't think you have to worry about it either.
And there's consistency. Like you're not taking any risk really other than that little baby risk that you maybe put on top. But damn, this could be a wide receiver 1 for you in the 8th round.
And that's league winning upside right there, right? When you take somebody that late, they can give you wide receiver 1 production for the long term, right? And like you said, he's only been in the league for 3 years, so he's got time. So especially in dynasty, you're looking at that. I think it's a smash play. All right, we're staying with the wide receiver position, and we're going with, oh my God, my knee. Oh, I hurt my knee. Chris Godwin, wide receiver for right now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, I don't care about his knee. Knee issues are not what they used to be. We see everybody, and I mean almost everybody, come back from them just as good as they were before. Now, it may take a little bit of time, right? That first half of the season, he may not be the Chris Godwin that we know and love. But look, we're talking about a guy who's been a top 15 receiver in fantasy points per game over the last 3 years. He was number 8 this year. He was number 15 last year, and he was number 2 3 years ago. And you say, Brad, he's played with Tom Brady, the GOAT, the last 2 years. His best season was with Jameis Winston. Ooh, I mean, nobody's claiming Jameis Winston is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No.
We talked about maybe a breakout. Maybe he's a guy you want to get on your team right now for cheap, but he's not Tom Brady. Chris Godwin can perform in any offense. This is a guy that can do anything and everything that you want. He lines up all over the field, and I think he's going to be a smash again in the 6th round. This is the sweet spot. We were talking about this pre-show. Get as many picks as you can in the 5th or 6th round because there is so much value there right now that you're just going to walk away from that draft with the best team in the league, period, if you can line up some picks in that draft. So Chris Godwin, 6th round, you got to go get him. Am I crazy?
No, Godwin, dude, and I think patience is key because we are doing these startups. It's, February, March. Oh, Maddie, Brad, I'm just bored. Guys, people are going to try to lowball you by where you drafted this guy. People are going to look at startup position. Oh, well, he drafted him in the 7th. I can get him for wide receiver 2-3 price. No, you can't. This guy is a dynasty. Top 12, even with the knee injury, should be a top 15 locked and loaded dynasty receiver moving forward. Outcome, like you said, this guy has all the tools. He could go to, St. Mary's School for Girls and stand out. So it doesn't matter. Get Godwin on your team. End of story.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you any more than what you said, Maddie. I love Chris Godwin. Obviously, you love Chris Godwin. So we talked 4 ADP values for you. Please take this information, go do a little digging on your own, and get ready for those startups this year. Or maybe even you go look at attaining these guys in existing dynasty leagues that you've got right now, and you use that ADP to your advantage, right? So while we're talking about taking advantage of people during drafts, now you can use that data to go and take advantage of people that you are currently in dynasty leagues with. So without further ado, we're going to get you out of here. Maddie, throw them your socials. Let them know where they can find you.
Brad, always a pleasure, my treasure. It's the Maddie Daddy. At Maddie Daddy FF. Maddie Daddy presents. And please, Brad is a student of the game. You see the Patreon. Make sure you click it. Let's make that money, honey.
Hey, look, I don't even care about my Patreon. What I care about is, again, at Maddie Daddy on Twitter, Maddie Daddy Presents on YouTube. You are missing out on some fire. You can see it in his background, that fire content right now. You got to go click it. Just click it. It's on the screen. It might not work on the screen, but go to that place. Go to YouTube, check it out, subscribe, give him a like. He's a guy you got to follow right now. So you know who I am. I'm at FF Bourbon Dude, and we're here. We're sipping on some bourbon. We're giving some tips on fantasy football. Have a good night. Cheers.